Bill Overton, WIXZ Radio. This is for both of you fellas. Were there ever any tough negotiations, any hard pitches either of you had to make to the other to make this happen, or was it so mutually agreeable throughout?
Well,
I didn't think it was that hard. I mean, we've been through this so many times, with Fred and Richard, and I really got to concentrate on what I had to do on the racetrack. So I didn't. Maybe it was. Maybe the guys just did a good job of keeping me shielded from it.
It wasn't. Once we both said this is the direction we're going, it just took a little time. Attorneys have to earn their money, so they may change an I to an A or whatever they do, but that was the biggest holdup, was just the little I's and A's. And Kevin said it the best a while ago. Both of us want the same thing. And I think with the way we're structured now, we got a lot of good things coming the rest of the year, and hopefully we'll just get better as the year goes. And we want to run for that championship. I want to walk on the stage, and I guess it's Vegas now, so.
Yeah, it's Kevin, Bob Zeller, AOL. You mentioned that you kind of handle it differently this time than the last. Would it be correct to characterize that as talking less about it publicly?
Well, yeah, I think 2003 was a mess. I kind of let myself get caught up in the middle of this world in the media, and it's best to handle your family matters within your family and not let the outside world dictate what you want to do. So. I felt like it went very well as we went through it this time, and felt like we handled it professionally and how it should have been done last time, not the first time.
Mike Hembry. Richard, you mentioned earlier the sponsor situation. The economy looks like it's trying to turn around some. Have you noticed more companies out there willing to talk with you about major sponsorship deals like you're looking for with this team? Is it a little bit brighter situation?
Yes, for sure. Our marketing department has been talking to some new companies that's not in the sport right now that have a lot of interest. Our sport, I think, with the Hall of Fame opening, a lot of things, the racing's been really great this year, and we're still the country is still in an economy, downturn a little bit, but it looks like it's leveling and moving in the right direction. And I think our sport is strong enough with all the people and the companies we have in it, and the companies that's looking to get into the sport today. It gives us bright hope.
And I don't think either of us would have been as willing to do everything that we're doing today without having the confidence in that side of it. So I think we both feel like that there's if things have moved along pretty fast we'll move along pretty fast on that side of it.
Okay, we're going to take 3 or 4 more. Go ahead.
Jay Pennell with Front Stretch and All Left Turns. Kind of on the same lines. You mentioned how the pieces kind of fell into place even before you guys got to Daytona. With Shell leaving, did that happen so late in the game that it wasn't even a factor in your re-signing, or were there some hesitations there?
I mean, to be quite honest with you, they were kind of the ones that got the whole ball rolling. So that was just kind of the ones that really helped get the ball rolling in the right direction. So I don't really know what else to say past that.
No, I think you said it. We were talking, and here we are today, signing.
Marty
Smith, ESPN. Kevin, what impact, if any, does this have on your nationwide program at KHI?
Well, I think that's one of the great pieces of the whole thing. I think as we go forward, my nationwide car will have all of the ECR engines in it as it has this year. Our trucks have ECR engines in them. We'll continue forward with RCR chassis under our nationwide car to make sure that as we move forward with the new car on the nationwide side, it'll be tremendously closer to what we currently race on Sunday. So we've made a huge effort between the two companies to make sure that those cars are prepared as similarly to my Cup car, to make sure that as much transfers from Saturday to Sunday. So chassis, engines, communication from the technical standpoint will be a huge piece of this, and really as two companies, to working together hand in hand like we will going forward, it's makes us a lot stronger as one than it does as two separate companies.
Yeah, and hopefully we can pretty much in the near future that we can. We got some plans that Kevin and I are working on, and with both the companies, and hopefully we'll be able to announce that pretty soon in the near future.
David.
Yeah, David Newton, ESPN.com. Kevin, obviously you've been a strong team owner yourself now. Are there things you've learned doing that you saw that was missing over at RCR, and did you play a role in kind of helping through the I guess, restructuring?
Well, I think Richard played the biggest role in just knowing, what he wanted to do with the company and what he envisioned the company looking like going forward. And I think I would say Scott is probably the biggest role that's going to help not only bridge that gap between myself and the crew chiefs and Richard, but Richard and the crew chiefs from a competition standpoint to a spending standpoint. There's a line that you have to draw, and it's just a matter of where that line is and how you achieve that. And when you can't get to those points from a financial standpoint where you want to achieve on a competition side, where do you go get it from within your company, and what will least affect the company? And I think those are things that Scott's going to help the most with in knowing what we need and when we need it. And kind of deciphering through each crew chief, and as a team owner, you know that the crew chiefs and the drivers always want what's best for them. So in the end, it's got to be what's best for the company and what makes the cars go the fastest as a whole.
All right, Richard, got two more.
Richard, to follow up on the sponsor question, how critical is it to go to a sponsor and say, I have Kevin Harvick signed to a multi-year deal versus we're negotiating for a deal in the future? I mean, that's got to make it tons easier.
Yeah, it does. It's always kind of like the chicken and the egg or chicken or however that goes. But I think that Kevin and I both have enough confidence in each other that we know that we can go out and we're going to put a really good package. We've put a great package together for companies in the past, and we're going to put a great package moving forwards. And yeah, it's a huge plus when you can go to a company and say that we have the driver has us, we're ready to go. We're going to give you a package that will get more than your money's worth.
Alan Cavana, WSOC. Kevin, in your decision making, did you ever contemplate being a driver owner for KHI?
No.
Why not?
No, it's just not. We've talked about this a lot before. It's just it's not something that I have the desire to sit and make those decisions over 15, 20 million, whatever decisions they are. You'd have to have too much money in this day and age to start a company. I mean, the RCRs of the world have that backbone and have already made those investments on the parts and pieces and the tools necessary to be competitive in the sport. And it's just it's not something that I was really looking for as a challenge.
All right, last call.
Mike Solarto, News 14. Question for Richard. Obviously, you and Kevin have been together a long time, and Kevin's proven his mettle as a driver. What was it that you saw in him when you hired him all those years ago, when you brought him in, that made you think, down the road, this guy's going to be pretty special?
Well, I remember watching him race at IRP in that 75 truck. I watched him race Hornaday. I was at Bakersfield or wherever we were at, and he was beating on. Back then, he was a young man, but now he still is, I guess you'd say. He was beating on one of his friends and to win the race, and I said, I kind of like it. He's the kind of driver I like, and so I watched him a couple of more races, and we went after him. And once we got him, I knew he was a real deal. And at Daytona, we knew it when we rolled out.